if I recall how I joined this power station, it goes back right from the day when I was interviewed and tested for this job.
It was May 1995 when I first came and joined this international power.
The project was supposed to come online in about March or April of 1996. The selection process for initial team was complete by December 1994.
I joined this project in 1995, just after completing my graduation.
I was in the first batch of engineers that joined the project.
I came on Hub Power Project on 1st November 1993 as a fresh graduate engineer.
I started with Hub Power Station back in 95 as a control systems engineer.
I joined this company as a charge engineer, shift charge engineer.
This was at that time a dream plant for everybody because it was the most modern at that time.
Hub Power Plant was a mega project for me. As a fresh engineer, it was beyond my imagination.
Unit number 1 boiler was being erected that time.
So they selected us. There were about initially the group about 13 to 15 people, and we were sent to UK for cultural assimilation.
I was given a job of project support and services engineer. I was feeling a bit reluctant at the start because being a young enthusiastic engineer, it was not kind of a job one would look for at the start. After a few months, when I was shifted as a construction engineer for boiler 4, I realized that this was an amazing experience, and I had carried this experience throughout my career until this position.
When I joined this project, I was very excited. The feeling was like joining a multicultural team which includes people from Britain, which includes people from Pakistan, which include all the expatriates that were working away from Pakistan, and they were all joining Hubco for this project.
When we went to the control room, there was nothing over there, just one bulb hanging with the wire and no furniture, no nothing. So we took all those tables and chairs on our back and walked from back stairs into the control room, set up a small office, and we started sitting there.
And I still remember, initially when we went there, somebody asked on the counter, is it halal? Is it halal? So the lady said, no, this is chicken.
There were many challenges because the contractors who would come to the plant, they were not aware of the safety rules. So we had a task to even train the contractors, especially for the boiler maintenance.
At start, the project was quite a barren land at a typical coastline. The chimney was 1/3 of the height which you see now.
The chimney construction was very interesting for me, and it was a continuous process without any break. Day to day it was gradually increasing, and especially when we were just on weekend, in day or 2 days gap, we were just observing a very clear difference in height.
The first 6.6 kV motor was tested on site.
It was quite amazing at that time just to think that this piece of land will be developing into a huge power plant, and a fresh engineer could have not thought that.
So countdown started for pump number 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. And everybody was watching on pump number 1, but actually it started pump number 2.
Slowly people became used to the plant, and they understood the thing, mistakes that were quite common in the beginning. The number of mistakes started dropping. Actually, that gave the confidence to the higher management that was the time that they could start running down the number of expatriate staff.
We just came at site on turbine 1 location, and I still remember the first bucket of the excavator when it was lifted.
At that time, so we had this small camp. It was called Pioneer Camp. So we used to live there. Traveling was very difficult, so we used to live there for about 3-4 days, week time, then come back on weekends.
After that, another thing which I remember until now is the drum lifting activity. As a fresh engineer, it was difficult to visualize that how this big drum with this quite composed steel structure, how it would be lifted.
The first unit was commissioned, I think it was September 96, and then units started coming up very fast, and after every 3 months unit was commissioned, and finally COD was on 1st of April 1997. That was a big milestone inauguration, and I was on shift. I felt on that day as a proud member of that team.
The biggest enthusiasm was when the boiler was fired at first time. It was an amazing thing to see that at the end you deliver a boiler which is meant for firing, and it started firing.
In the last 18 years, plant has come a long way. It is now aging, but at the same time is being maintained very well. People have gained a lot of expertise on this plant. Their knowledge level is very high.
This power plant, 1292 megawatt, is playing a very important role in maintaining the grid stability.
The team is very professional. They have accepted this challenge that the plant will keep up and running, and they are doing it in a very professional manner, and they are doing it wholeheartedly.
With this comes a responsibility, and we feel that we should contribute more towards the country. Country is suffering from darkness and shortage in the electricity.
I mean, as you understand, for an aircraft to fly, it needs to attain a critical speed before it can take off. Same is the situation with Hubco. I think we have the right people, right experience, right attitude to be a leader in power generation.
As an engineer, I think it's not very common in our professional careers when you can be genuinely proud of doing a national service. And I think the power plant engineers at this moment in time, they are really doing a national service if they add a single megawatt to this nation at this time.
At the moment, we are also considering many projects that sure will contribute towards country's electricity production, and that will definitely make a difference towards country's growth.
I am proud to be the part of this power plant. I worked more than 20 years, and still I want to be the part of this power plant, to maintain it, to play my role, and to serve Pakistan.
I can comfortably say that in all these years, there have never been a dull day at this plant.
So it was like an experience which I would never forget.
I am proud to be part of Hubco team who are working together to give back our professional expertise to Pakistan, helping it come out of darkness.
With Hubco's future coal initiative, I think they are moving on very fast track, and something very good coming up for the country. Our all wishes with them for future success.
I must say that the potential of this plant and the potential of the resource at this power station, it should be able to contribute to nation, as we have learned from our national poet Allama Iqbal. देखे तू ज़माने को अगर अपनी नज़र से, अफ़कार मुनव्वर हूँ तेरे नूर सहर से, खुर्शीद करे कसब ज़या तेरे शरर से, ज़ाहिर तेरी तकदीर हो सीमाए कमर से, दरिया मुतलातम हूँ तेरी मौज गोहर से, शर्मिंदा हो फितरत तेरे एजाज़ हुनर से, अग़यार के अफ़कार व तख़य्युल की गदाई, क्या तुझको नहीं अपनी खुदी तकदीर रसाई।